When you think of iconic duos in anime and manga, Naruto and Sasuke are the two names that likely are going to be some of the first that pop up on your mind, and for a really good reason. They're arguably the tag team champions of modern day shonen duos. However, this duo in the Boruto era still has moments where we see them bump heads, and we see a bit of that rivalry come out, in particular when Naruto's kind-hearted nature clashes with Sasuke's cold and analytical approach to situations. In today's Naruto video, we're going to cover the time when Hokage Naruto's one action nearly made Sasuke lose his temper on Naruto, and even got Sasuke to lose his temper on an innocent third party who was there with them, to a point where even Kakashi and Sakura had to step in to mediate to bring the temperature down in the situation. The information is going to be given to us in the Naruto Retsuden story, Naruto Retsuden, the 7th Hokage, and the Spiral of Destiny, which is set between the Mujina Bandits arc and the Vessel arc of Boruto. In the scene we're going to be looking at here, Base Hokage Naruto has just finished fighting Orochimaru, and the battle in question resulted in Naruto destroying the polar particles that Sasuke and Sakura went to hell and back to collect in the country of Radaku to cure Naruto's chakra illness. As a result of the polar particles being destroyed, Sasuke loses his temper with Naruto and does not give Naruto any slack for why the polar particles ended up being destroyed, which is because Naruto chose to save the life of the man who not only tried to kill Naruto, but also used the polar particles to kill the shinobi of the village, until Orochimaru stepped in, likely thinking of his son Mitsuki, who would have been one of those shinobi killed. And Orochimaru stopped the man, and just when the man was on the brink of death at the hands of Orochimaru, Naruto made the decision to save the man, which resulted in the polar particles being destroyed. As a result of this, Naruto finds himself on the opposite end of a very pissed off and very stressed out Sasuke, because Sasuke knows what's on the line here and is annoyed with Naruto's need to save others before worrying about himself. The same illness that Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths, dealt with towards the end of his days, which came as a result of having the chakra of the 9 Biju inside the human body for several decades, resulted in the deadly chakra illness that required the polar particles in order to cure it. Due to Hagoromo being a half Otsutsuki, there were no side effects of the 9 Biju chakra inside of his body until decades later. But Naruto, 16 years after getting the chakra of the 9 Biju, finds himself dying. His ability to mold chakra now comes at the cost of him having a heart attack and having seizures at times, and despite Sakura's medical genius, there's nothing they can do to relieve Naruto of the symptoms. This leads to the moment where Sasuke, who's already stressed and extremely desperate, thinking about the idea of Naruto, someone who's like a brother to him, dying and meeting his actual brother Itachi, it makes Sasuke take out his anger on Naruto and the scientist who Naruto brought with him, a young woman named Amano, who was saved during Pain's invasion and ended up growing up to become one of the scientists who are helping Naruto in the situation. With the scene and the context finally being set, it's here I'm going to begin reading the scene from the novel, then I'm going to come back to you guys my thoughts, and it's going to be here I'm going to begin quoting. So to sum up your story, Sasuke began visibly angry and in a bad mood. You lost the polar particles that could have been used to save your life in order to save the enemy, Sasuke said. Yes, that's what happened, but you don't understand, Naruto began in an awkward way. Naruto was very sorry that Sasuke and Sakura went all the way to Radaku country for the polar particles that Naruto ended up destroying, but he thought it couldn't be helped. Fury might have been dead if Naruto hadn't acted to save him. As Hokage, he couldn't allow someone to die in the land of fire that he had the ability to save. They were in their private space of the back of Tommy's shop. In addition to the usual crew of Sasuke, himself, Sakura, Kakashi, and Shikamaru, there was an extra person at their meeting, Amano. Lord Seven came to my aid because I was abducted by Fury's men, Amano began until Sasuke glared at her. Amano was scared of Sasuke at first, but seeing him talk to Lord Seventh the way that he did made her speak up eventually. Clearly, I know that much, so stay silent until you have something useful to say. You've done enough damage as it is, Sasuke said. Amano obediently shut up and looked down at the table. We can't help what's already happened, Sasuke-kun. We have to think about our next move as soon as possible. We don't have much time left if we're gonna save Naruto, Sakura said. After looking over the information that she, Sasuke, and Kakashi gathered in Radaku country and her own examinations of Naruto's body, Sakura had discovered grim news and an accurate diagnosis of Naruto's medical condition. Her hypothesis was correct. There was no doubt that the cause of the disease was the malfunction of the chakra tubes in Naruto's chakra pathway system that were affected by having the 9 tails in the chakra of the other Biju sealed away into him. The Biju chakra flows into Naruto's body when he draws on it, but with how many times Naruto has drawn on this chakra, the boundary between the chakra has become become ambiguous. The chakra is in a continuous flowing state, and while the body uses the Biju chakra, it still views it as a foreign body since it wasn't the chakra Naruto was born with. The human body can't handle that much continuous foreign chakra for such a long time, which is why Naruto's seizures and heart attacks have occurred, because the chakra tubes in his chakra network are forcibly contracting due to the pressure of the Biju chakra on the human body. Sakura frowned. They were almost out of time. How much time do we have? Sasuke asked. Based on the results of my test, we have about 3 days, Sakura said. Is there any way we can get more polar particles? Shikamaru asked, turning his gaze towards Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke clenched his fist. Yes, the Sage's Six Paths broke the polar particles in two and hid the other half in a star that circles around the planet, and the other half was left hidden on Earth. That's the one we had until this idiot destroyed it. Theoretically, if we knew the location of the star that he hid it in, then we could get the other half of the polar particles, Sasuke said, looking at Naruto. End quote. If you recall, when Sasuke and Sakura went to that prison and Radaku working undercover, they had a moment where they were inside of the library and they were looking through a map of the stars that was inside of a book that had paintings of Hagoromo and the 9 Biju and the 10 Tails, which ultimately led Sasuke and Sakura to the polar particles sealed away in the lake at that prison, tucked away in a jar that had chakra seals on it placed by the Sage of Six Paths himself. The reason Sasuke is annoyed that they only have less than 3 days to find a cure for Naruto, and Sasuke realizes just how hard it was to find the first polar particle. Hagoromo left behind hidden messages and cleverly hidden clues and obstacles in order to find the first polar particle, so in Sasuke's mind, he's rightfully at the same conclusion that Sakura had reached, which is that they might not have the time to save Naruto by finding the other polar particle, especially if Hagoromo has another complex way of hiding the polar particles. It's one thing to know where the polar particle is hidden in a star in space, but it's another thing to actually peg down where it's actually located, because there are a ton of stars and also they don't know which star they're actually looking for. However, as it gets pointed out when Kakashi chimes in, they have the map with the book that they recovered at the Radaku library, and as Amano begins looking over the writing with Shikamaru, Amano speaks up because she realizes that she's seen the polar particle disguised as a star before, because it rotates in a different way than all the other stars and follows a different trajectory, and it's much faster than the other stars, which they know is the case because it's amped with Six Paths chakra. Amano says that the star will be moving across Konoha skies the next night, which leads to Kakashi coming up with the plan for them to actually follow. While Naruto might have done the honorable thing by saving someone else, he did endanger his own life in the process, which is why Sasuke was upset with him. But interestingly enough, while Sasuke was in his brooding emo mood swings, the very girl who he told to shut up was the one who solved the mystery of where Hagoromo left the last polar particle, and it's something I find interesting because of the location that they're at, because of the symbolism. They're in Tommy's shop. Tommy is a young girl who Sakura saved from the animal path centipede summoning during the Pain Invasion arc. You see the good deed of Sakura being paid off here. They're in a private place to speak about a very delicate situation, but on the other opposite end, we see Sasuke so emotionally upset that when he's confronted with another survivor of the Pain arc, Sasuke outright belittles her because he blames her for Naruto's actions, because if she never got herself captured, then Naruto never would have destroyed the polar particle. But it's that same person who actually gives Sasuke hope that he needs to actually save Naruto. Make sure to keep notifications turned on, because the next video goes over a highly controversial scene that Twitter took out of context a few years ago that we're gonna fully explain and go ahead and debunk the outrage. While you wait for the next video, click here to watch these other Naruto Retsuden videos you see on the screen right now.